Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So today we're going to have a RWBY discussion. It's been about 2 weeks since I've had one, so it's about time there's a RWBY discussion. I'll have an update at the end of the video talking about a few things, but there will still be more RWBY content to come as well as news-related things. So this video will be about, could RWBY lose an eye in Volume 7? So sit back, relax, I hope you all enjoy, and let's go and get started. So, one thing that had been brought up to me, and I want to make a shout out to PK Measy, and I want to make a shout out to Kennard Lang, because they brought this conversation up in my Discord, and the thing about this is they were wondering if RWBY could potentially lose an eye in Volume 7. Now, you're probably wondering, why would you say that RWBY could potentially lose an eye in Volume 7? Well, RWBY is more than likely going to fight Neo and Cinder, because it's obviously leading up to these two fighting off against RWBY and a plot for revenge. So, to see that that's more than likely going to happen, what do I think the outcome is? Do I think it's possible that RWBY could potentially lose an eye in the fight between Cinder and Neo? And, well, what do I think the answer to that would be? Yes, actually. I do believe that RWBY will possibly lose an eye here. Now, why do I say that I think that RWBY would lose an eye? Well, for one, I think it would be a good idea. Now, I know what everybody's thinking. Oh man, you would want RWBY to get maimed? Well, it would be sad, and it would be an emotional moment, but I think it could lead to a good character development for RWBY's character, but I think it could lead into many other things. So let me explain why I say that if RWBY loses an eye, it would be a good thing. So first off, let's look at this. Cinder herself, while she has the maiden powers, it was confirmed back in Volume 4 by Salem that the maiden powers are actually weak to the Silver Eyes. Now, this could be because the magic that was the maiden powers was given by the Brother of Darkness, and that the silver-eyed powers could have been given by the God of Light. Now, that could be the reason, but it hasn't been explained yet. But they may retcon this, considering that, well, Volume 6, they only kind of go into the grim arm situation of why Cinder was affected by RWBY. But if they retcon this, I really don't think it'd be a terrible retcon, considering that at least it wouldn't be a complete and total destruction for Cinder whenever it comes to her fighting as RWBY and the Silver Eyes. But, it'd be another inconsistency, but you know how that works. That's kind of RWBY for you. But, looking at the Silver Eyes, they are too powerful right now. And I think that they do need to be nerfed, and I've talked about this before. And when it comes to Neo, Neo may be the solution with Cinder's plan to be able to help actually, well, take an eye for an eye, if you get what I mean. And if you look at Cinder and Neo, two big things I want to bring up here. They are on a higher skill tier than RWBY is. Now, regardless to what many people may think, Cinder and Neo are definitely stronger than RWBY, and that has been proven throughout the series, of course. And the thing is, there's going to be some problems when RWBY fights these two, because if you think about Neo, her semblance with illusions, and how she's actually gotten stronger since Volume 2 and Volume 3, and, mind you, back in Volume 3, RWBY couldn't even touch Neo. Also in Volume 2, Yang couldn't even touch Neo. And to think about how much stronger Neo has gotten since then, that's going to pose to be a big problem for RWBY. And supposedly, from what Cinder has said, she's gotten stronger as well. Now, whether to say that that could be her acquiring the maiden powers, well, that could be it. But also considering that at the end of Volume 4, you did see Cinder training a little bit. So it could be possible that she might have trained in between this time as well. Another thing to take into accordance here is that RWBY hasn't really gotten stronger. We haven't seen any real progression other than her having the silver eyes, but to be fair, she was born with those. So I wouldn't really count that as getting stronger, more so just awakening a power that she's always had sleeping inside of her. But what I think will happen is I think that Cinder and Neo will have the drop on RWBY. They'll probably break her aura in the fight. Hence, RWBY will come to the conclusion of trying to use her silver eyes on Cinder, because she remembered back in Volume 5 that they started to seem like they were working on her. So she may try to use them, and that's when Neo could take the opportunity to save Cinder and actually take out one of her eyes, which could also potentially nerf the powers of the Silver Eyes. But what I think would also be good about the situation if this actually did happen is that let's look at every member of Team RWBY. They have some sort of physical scar or injury, and it's been through an emotional issue. Because look at Weiss. Weiss, whenever she fought the Armagigas, this was a test by her own father, Jacques, to see if she could get into Beacon, if she was strong enough. And, hence the scar over her eye, it is supposed to be a symbol of, well, the test that her father put on her. And then if you actually think about Yang and Blake both, because they were both actually injured by Adam, Yang lost her arm. And this was due to her bad judgment call of trying to attack Adam the way she did. She let her anger consume her at that point, and in the process, she lost her arm to Adam. And this is also supposed to be a sign of what Adam did to her, and also her bad judgment call. Now, of course, PTSD was dropped like a sack of rocks within just the first part of her own arc, but, it was supposed to be an emotional weight for her. It's supposed to be a big issue for her to come to terms with. And if you look at Blake, Blake was also stabbed by Adam, and it was supposed to be an emotional moment for her, and that mark is a reminder of her conflict with Adam, and for her to try to overcome as well. And that was the point of these scars, if you think about it. It's supposed to symbolize the conflicts that they've had and that they've had to overcome and come across and come to terms with. And then if you look at Cinder, one thing that I think would be great here is look at Cinder. After what happened in Volume 3, Cinder lost her left eye. Now, what could be pretty good here is if RWBY actually lost her right eye to be the foil to Cinder's character. And what I would also enjoy here is that it would show emotional weight to RWBY's character, because realistically, RWBY has never had an emotional outburst. You look at Weiss, you look at Yang, you look at Blake, at some point in time, they have had an emotional moment. But if you look at RWBY, she has always held in her emotions. Of course, we know that she's had moments where she has been conflicted, but never have they touched upon her emotional issues before, and I think that would be good character development for her. And even though she came prepared for Alice, even though they were prepared to try to defend it, it could still show that preparations don't always mean that everything's going to go the right way or the way that they had planned. Plus, this could potentially lead into the idea of maybe a training arc for a lot of the characters, not just RWBY, but a lot of them in her group, because let's be real, I think a lot of them need to get stronger, and I think that would be a good way to lead into the character's training. And not only that, but who knows, maybe this could make for a bit of a vengeful RWBY, or one that could be a little more jaded than what she is right now. And who knows, maybe it could even lead into a moment with Summer, because we really need to have a backstory with Summer to show the bonds between RWBY and her mother. I mean, not just a flash of her, an actual backstory, just saying. And I think it could be a really good emotional moment, because it seems like RWBY has held in all these emotions for so long, and I think it would be a good moment for her to actually lash out, and to show her in a vulnerable state for a change. I think that would be very good for her character and very good in terms of development. And also to see the antagonist actually get a win, because let's be real, they haven't had a win in a while. And I think that would be good for them as well. And to show a good team up between Cinder and Neo, I think that would actually be kind of cool. I mean, that could be something. Who knows? Maybe it could also even open up more about Cinder and Neo's characters. I think that would be something excellent to see as well. But, most importantly, looking at it, I think that this could actually go better in the long terms for a few characters. And I think that it would also be good for RWBY, because the scar could always be a reminder of her loss to Neo and Cinder. This could make RWBY want to improve as a character, improve as a leader even, and I think it would add emotional depth to her character and even go back into more of her history as a character. But that's just my opinion. But anyways, moving on to the update. I just wanted to let everyone know there will still be more RWBY content to come to the channel, but also at the same time, I am going to be covering some more news subjects as well, because some of you really do seem to like them. So I will be talking about both RWBY and news-related subjects. Also, there's still an Adam rewrite that I am working on, so I've been putting a lot of time into that when I can. So I will make an announcement closer to time when that is going to come out, because I'm trying to make that the best that I can. So hopefully you all will enjoy that, and hopefully it'll turn out to be excellent, because I really hope that this rewrite will be good. So there still will be more RWBY content to come, as well as news-related content. In terms of RWBY content, I do have another project that I am working on besides the Adam rewrite, so it'll be pretty fun. I'm actually looking forward to doing that. And there will still be news-related stuff as well that I'm going to cover because there have been many of you that have actually enjoyed it, and I'm going to keep doing that as well. But don't worry, the RWBY content, it's not leaving or anything. I will continue to make more RWBY content, such as theories, discussions, and reviews, and I will also talk about pop culture-related news and things of that sort as well, since many of you have enjoyed that. And if there's any pop culture news or anything related to that, let me know and I'll research it and I'll talk about it, give my thoughts on it also. But anyways, let me know what you think about everything down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, hit the video with a like, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, share this video with your friends if you found this informative or useful, and follow me on Discord. Links in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow can always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.